What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. All you who are here for the first time, thank you so much for fucking being here. I really appreciate it, man. I am so excited to be doing this. Now, this is a concept I had 3 years ago when I got started in the fragrance community. I don't know, the idea just came to me to kind of do an interview format. And I've done quite a few. I've done Ross from TLTGs. I've done George Zaharoff, Justin Copeland. Simply Fragrances is one of my interviews. Shout out to Tyler. And then before I knew better, I interviewed some people that none of you probably give a shit about. But so I was really excited after I got to meet you in Chicago.
Yeah,
Got to know the Mafia family. Really excited to have you on the channel, man. I know you've been at this for a while. And I am amazed because you make it look easy to do these lives. I mean, you are a hell of an entertainer, and it is not easy. It is nerve-wracking. I don't know if anybody does it as good as you, to be honest with you. And I know you don't give a shit about the subs, but your subs don't match how entertaining you are. And what are you, over 3K? You should have way more than that.
yeah,
So,
man. Yeah.
so if anybody's on my channel and you're not subbed to Joey Cannoli, please go over and do that. Please do that. And man, on top of that, you are a fantastic singer. I mean, you're amazing.
Thank you.
And then
Thank you.
you have your own fragrance with Zaharoff that sold out, triple
It did.
X, and I have it, and it's amazing. So you are an accomplished part of Fragcom, and I'm very lucky to have you.
Thank you
So
so much, brother.
thank you for being here.
My
And
pleasure.
then before I get going, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Again, thank you for being here. Hope everybody has an amazing holiday. And are you ready to get into some of these questions?
I am ready. There's nothing I love more than a good interview.
Right? Live, laugh, and nut, right?
I keep it simple over here. Yeah.
All right. Well, just the first question is just real simple. Tell us a little bit about yourself, if you would.
All right, let's see. Well, my name is Joey Cannoli. I paint houses. I've been on YouTube for 11 years,
Well,
maybe
okay.
longer.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And you're married, right?
And I've been married for 2 years. It'll be 3 next year.
Okay. Okay. Kids or no kids?
No kids. We have a cat. His name is Mr. Binks, and he almost ate me recently on a live stream. He started gnawing at me.
I've got two cats myself, so
I love a good.
they're my babies. I used to have a boxer. I was a big Kobe Bryant fiend, so my
Okay.
boxer's name was Kobe.
Okay.
But, yeah, he just recently passed, and I haven't quite gotten
Oh,
over that one. But
that's always tough.
what are you wearing today? What's your scent of the day, if you don't mind me asking?
My scent of the day, I'm actually wearing the original Armani code.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah, the OG code from like what was it, 04, mid 2000s, I think it came out.
Yeah, okay.
Like that. Classic.
I'm wearing Jubilation by Amouage.
Ooh, powerful fragrance, huh?
Yeah, I love it. It's good stuff.
Very good.
All right. Okay, so what event or events, if any, inspired you to be a part of the fragrance community, to be a content creator? Or did you even get into content creating because of fragrances?
So I used to make content when I was a teenager. We're talking like 05, like the beginning of YouTube. And I used to just film my big box TV I had from the 90s playing Super Nintendo games. And I used to just, I don't know, man. Yeah, I was a kid. But so I've always been into fragrances my whole life. And when I was in high school, there was maybe, when I say a handful, I really mean a handful. There was maybe 4 or 5 guys on YouTube talking about cologne, and I would watch every single video they made.
Okay, okay. Well, did you have any in particular that you found yourself looking at?
I did. So I don't even know if you guys. I mean, a lot of these people aren't even around anymore. So T. Swekhoff,
Okay.
his name was Tim. Robes '08, Mark. There was Cubby, C. Formosa.
Okay.
And Guinea 54. Really, he was probably the first guy in the fragrance community to do anything with humor.
Oh, okay, okay.
So when I seen him, that's kind of what inspired me to be like, you know what? I got about 20 bottles. You know what I mean? I'm 17, 16 years old. I go, why don't I start uploading videos talking about fragrances like these guys? And at the time, I think I was the youngest one in the community.
Wow.
Yeah, most of these guys, I mean, they were young now, looking back in retrospect, but they were probably in their 30s, mid 20s. Um, I think the youngest probably was Tim in Cubby. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and it's a breath of fresh air because the people that take Fraycom very seriously, they don't have much of a personality. They're a dime a dozen. So to have people who kind of make light of it is very refreshing.
It was a
Um,
different energy back then.
yeah, I'm going to ask you about that because
Absolutely.
I kind of feel that just from hearing some of your lives. I kind of get that impression.
Yeah.
When you first started, though, because I have to admit, I come from my wife's family is pretty much all I've got, and a lot of those guys are hunters. They wear camo. They're whatever manly man. And when I first
Sure.
started doing this, I kind of wanted to keep it a secret. I was a little embarrassed that I was into scented water, if you will.
Yeah.
Was that an issue for you when you first started doing it?
So when I was growing up, all of the men in my family wore fragrances. It was part of the machismo. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
part of
okay.
that.
Okay.
So I'm Sicilian.
Nice.
I grew up like very old school
Okay.
Italian household, and my father always had cologne. It was kind of a rite of passage, especially when I started going through puberty.
Okay.
When and I'm like, how can I get these broads to notice me? You know what I mean? And cologne was a gateway to getting girls' attention at that young age.
Nice. We have that in common. I am Sicilian by adoption.
Oh,
Yeah,
beautiful!
I was adopted by a Sicilian family. My dad's name was Luigi, if that tells you anything. But the only thing he
Very
wore,
famous guy.
uh,
I love his
Luigi,
games.
my uncle's name was Rocky.
There you
No,
go.
yeah,
Okay.
no cologne in the house, baby. It was Old
Wow.
Spice. So
I love Old Spice. I
that was
love
it.
Old Spice. Shout out to Luigi and Mario and the whole crew.
I mean, right? No Princess Peach, though. Too
I was gonna
bad.
say, did you have an aunt named Peach? Because I have a feeling I know who you are. That's great.
Okay, so if you had to say, if I was putting a gun to your head, what's your favorite thing about being a content creator?
Oh man, I just love connecting with my audience.
Yeah,
Um, naturally, I'm a comedian and I like making people laugh.
yeah,
So if I can make you laugh, that's 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 all I really want is to
yeah,
entertain people. That's
yeah.
what it's all about.
Absolutely. A sense of humor shows a little bit of intelligence, and I do love the ability to be self-deprecating
Oh
and
yeah,
not take yourself serious. So,
you
all
shouldn't.
right, how about what is your least favorite thing about being a content creator?
Probably unacceptable scales. No, you know what it is.
Right?
Um, my least favorite thing. I over the years I made sure not to do things that I didn't enjoy. So it's not so much like I do things that don't make me happy. I think my least favorite thing about being in the community, because as a content creator, I don't think I have anything that I'm least favorite about. I just think the direction the community went over the years
Hmm.
and how it all turned into one big marketing thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
it
I get it.
lost what I mean, but it happens to everything in the end, right?
Yeah, yeah, it does. No matter
But
what.
no matter everything gets ruined. you know, I think my least favorite thing is just how disingenuine most people are. And I don't even mean like, oh, I don't know if I can trust what they say about cologne because they're shills. No, no, no. I don't even
Give it to us,
it's an
please.
this is an egocentric world, right?
Yeah.
Some people have humongous egos, but a lot of these bigger fragrance reviewers, you almost get the impression they kind of walk around like they're celebrities, and it cringes me to my core. Because like if I were to go on the street and say, "Who is this?" What? Like listen, there's a lot of people. If you say who's Jeremy Fragrance, they're gonna be like, "What?"
Yeah, no.
And
That
he's like the biggest one. He's
I'm not
huge in some
I'm
places.
not crapping on Scent Explorer, but that when you walk in there, that whole vibe is about celebrity.
Listen, if they feel good in their bubble and they feel important, God bless them,
Yeah,
right?
right.
God bless
Absolutely.
them to the core. Yeah, supply and demand. I don't know. I don't know, Scott. That's probably my least favorite. Is just the egos that are involved with everything.
Yeah. Okay.
What's up, Kevin?
So if anyone is sitting on the fence out there and they're watching this and they're so inspired by these two Adonises right here on the screen, what piece of advice would you give them about starting out making content creating?
You always have to do what makes you happy. Unfortunately, there is an algorithm and there is a game, and you have to feed the beast. You have to be consistent, but you also have to enjoy what you do.
Yeah.
Um, I think a lot of people now, they see it as an opportunity to make money, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's so hard to get up and running because there's so many people trying to do it that they lose momentum, and after a while they give up. I mean, I've seen now probably thousands of people throughout the last 12 some odd years
Yeah,
come, and that's because fragrances are so expensive. You always need to buy the newest thing, hype the newest release, and if companies aren't sending you these things, or if you don't have an expendable income, it's really hard to keep up with the game.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
you lose momentum and you lose inspiration because you're like, I don't even want to talk about, the same top tens. Some of the hardest, like, I'm gonna give a shout out to The Apprentice. Okay, George the Fragrance Apprentice.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, he was passionate about filmmaking, and he would involve fragrances with it. And we used to have these conversations, and he'd say, I sit here, I do all this work, I take all this time, and I put all this effort into this, and it gets no views. But then I turn around and I do a cheap top 10 video, and, boom, 20,000, 30,000 views. It's really tough to do what you love. So if I could give any advice, always do what you love. If you can find a balance, that's all that matters.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. So you've been doing this for a while. What is your secret for handling the trolls and the haters?
You have to be a troll.
Has it helped you develop thick skin though, doing content?
I'm a big guy. We met. And it was an absolute pleasure. I had a great time.
Yeah,
You need to have thick skin on the internet.
yeah.
Let alone in the real world. We know how hardcore the world can be, right?
There's just no point in doing it if you are worried about what people think.
You can't. We all have our own insecurities, and that's fine and dandy. There's things that we don't like. But I'm going to tell you this. If you don't have thick skin and you're on the internet, you're going to have a really hard time, because even if you're the nicest person in the world, there's always going to be that one person that's just going to destroy your life. I'm not even talking Fraycom. I'm talking the internet, Scott. I'm talking anywhere we go. No one wants to see a cringe fragrance. Now, enough of from here to there. I'm talking about the fragrance content, Ganger.
Yeah.
I seen someone that was passionate about something, Scott, going back on the advice question, and they felt, unappreciative. Like whenever they would put their talent and hard work into something, it wasn't reciprocated. It didn't pay off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's an unfortunate situation.
Yeah, it's funny because as you read the comments, you can have like 70 that tell you walk on water, and there's that one that's like, damn, your nose is big, and you're like, fuck, I'm quitting. I'm quitting.
Right. Anytime we subject ourselves on camera, right, we're asking. And listen, when I was growing up, my friends and I would rib each other all the time. We would roast each other constantly. So I grew up where busting people's balls was like a second language.
Yeah.
There's a difference, you know what I mean? But you gotta be able to roll with the punches. Otherwise, it's gonna be tough.
Do you think in the climate that we're in the fragrance community, do you think it's still worth making content even though it seemingly is saturated? Do you think you can still?
Yeah. There's always going to be someone else that's going to show up and take the other guy's place. That's just natural progression, right?
Yeah.
And I think that it is oversaturated, sure, but everyone deserves a shot, and you can't let that stop you. You can't let it break your stride.
You kind of alluded to it earlier, but are you? I mean, how do you feel about content creators, especially in fragrances, making money or even getting free bottles? What is your thought about that?
The fact that anyone can make a living off of this or make any even as a side hustle, I think that's amazing. I think it's amazing. The problem is there's a lot of shady things that go along with it
Yeah,
that damper it, right?
yeah,
But I never want to be like, oh yeah, they just want to make money. Don't we all want to make money?
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah. Like doing something you love. What's wrong
doing,
with that?
doing something you're passionate about. But one of my favorite things is I seen a meme, and it's like I work a 9 to 5, right?
Mhm.
Bust my ass, and then there's an 8-year-old bringing in $5 million reviewing toys, and it's like there's a clown,
Yeah,
right? And you're the clown, right? And it's just like if you didn't have to do, some people just they kill themselves. I don't mean literally. I mean like at work, right? They have hard jobs and it wears them down and their bodies after so many years, by the time they retire, they're all messed up. And imagine a life where you could do that and you didn't have to worry about it.
yeah. And all you got to do is be 300 pounds, show your feet, you get rich. The
You get
guy over there is working construction, barely
right.
getting by.
Invest your money, get some rental prop. Be smart. Be smart with your money, right? Don't just blow it all. I see a lot of these younger YouTubers buying all these fancy cars, and this has to last. You have to create something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I hate to use these guys as an example, but I have to tip my hat now. The Paul brothers, Logan Paul,
Yeah,
Jake
yeah,
Paul, they transcended YouTube.
yeah.
Like they're entertainers. They have companies. They're boxers,
Mhm.
wrestlers. Like these guys created so much, just an entire lifetime of success. Where even if YouTube were to end today, they would be fine. There was a foundation built. What's up, Yara? I don't know.
So, Joey, having your fragrance and being somewhat not somewhat, it's successful with it,
Mhm.
making a little bit of money from it. How do you feel? So many content creators now having their own fragrances.
Yeah, it was funny to watch it all unfold. So when I started, there was only one reviewer at the time. His name was John Kerosene. And I don't know if you're familiar with that gentleman, but he created, I mean, like fragrances. He was the first of his kind, and they're amazing.
Yes,
They smell phenomenal. A true artist, and that
I
guy,
must follow.
yeah, 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 yeah. Just a true artist. It was pretty impressive to see it all done. You could see this guy was passionate. He knew his stuff, and he actually created in my eyes, masterpieces. I mean, some of his fragrances are phenomenal. I
Yeah.
haven't smelled them in years, but
Oh
he
man.
was the first, and
Oh, flamethrower or
yeah,
something.
so good.
Yeah.
Kerosene fragrances. That's
Yeah.
right, Esteban. Um, so now with all of these other, it was different when John did it. Now you have these I don't want to make a mess here, but like a lot of these reviewers, there's companies that reach out to them, who will remain nameless, and we, like I said, there's a lot of shady business involved here.
Yeah.
So
A
it's
lot of creative directors.
a lot of creative directors, if you will. But to be honest, let them have their moment in the sun.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
could I could really care less, man. A lot of people are very passionate and it affects them on a level, and I'm never going to tell someone you shouldn't care, because some people just they got passion, Scott.
Yeah.
I could care less about these people, and I don't mean that in like an asshole way. I could genuinely care less if Tom, Dick, and Harry have their own fragrance. If they're not my friends, if there's not something about them that I'm attracted to,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch them. I'm not gonna care. I wish them nothing but the best.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
That's it. That's it. There's just so many doing it, and you kind of roll your eyes, but it's like
Yeah. It's getting boring now.
it's gonna keep evolving,
Yeah.
and I'm interested what it's gonna look like 5 years from now.
Yeah. I can really see the designer companies doing more and more with some of us, but we'll see.
Yep.
So the state of Fraycom versus how it was, because you've been doing this a lot longer versus how it is now. What would you like to change about it?
I wish it was more authenticity and
Okay.
there was more honesty. That's it.
That's it. Just more authenticity. Okay.
Yeah. It's really hard for me to take people at face value and be like, oh yeah, this is a good, I see these people and I'm just like, ugh. that's all,
Yeah.
most of the people here in the chat that I'm seeing, been around for a long enough time where you stop watching reviews, you know what you like.
Yeah. Yeah.
You find your circle, right? We naturally find our tribe, and then that's kind of what we surround ourselves with. Great job highlighting the comments, by the way. I see you highlighting them. So I think for me, you kind of find what you enjoy. And as the time goes on, you don't need the reviews anymore.
Yeah.
The only reviews I watch are my friends.
Yeah. 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 And you hit on something too that I think too is like so many people are getting so big for their britches.
Yeah.
They're all floating in the clouds and they're very inaccessible. And I'm like, come on, dude. Nobody knows who you are when you walk into Walmart. Give me a break.
Right.
Unless you compare me, but he's got 2 million whatever. But.
Sure, but even then, I can guarantee you there's a large amount of most people don't know who he is. And he's the biggest. And that's not to minimize him by any means. I think the success that he has accomplished and how far he's come is very impressive. It should inspire others, and it should be an example. Because one day a new Jeremy is going to show up, and it will take his place.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm still waiting for that day to come.
Yeah, once you get to the top of the mountain, someone always wants to yank your ass.
It's about to be a scary drop.
All right, so let's kind of change gears a little bit. Obviously, you're a fragrance enthusiast. You do a lot of other things. What is your favorite fragrance note? Do you have one? Have you ever thought about that?
I don't. To say favorite note is like, what's your favorite movie of all time? Your favorite song? I have multiple. Let me see. Well, it's funny. A lot of people hate it. I love Neroli. It reminds me of being a kid at the beach. Me and my wife love the smell of Neroli. Wow. And of course, classic man answer. I love any boozy note, any rum, any alcohol, any tobacco.
Something musky, perhaps.
And then I love a good old fashioned musky, just zesty. It's funny because when I was growing up, they used to have this deodorant. They probably still do. Do you remember Speed Stick?
Yeah.
You want to know my favorite? Yeah. My favorite Speed Stick was Musk.
Oh, I've never had that one.
It was a brown bottle. It was like a brownish color. Maybe I grew up poor. I don't know, man.
I definitely did. I grew up in Cleveland, man, with blue collar. So
yeah, and I've always loved overly masculine fragrances. I don't know why.
Okay.
It's just anything old school. I love fougères. Anything that resembles a barbershop shaving cream.
Okay.
This is gonna trigger some people. I love mint if it's done well.
Oh, okay.
I love mint fragrances. Gourmands. I'm a bit of a skank. I am a bit of a skank for gourmands. I like. You ever smell Givenchy Play Intense?
No.
Okay. Oh man, it's good.
I'll take your word for it. I'll write it down.
Yeah, I think it's discontinued, but if you can get a hold of a bottle or a sample, man, it's a great gourmand.
What about? So you named a lot. What about your least favorite?
Least favorite note. I can give you a least favorite fragrance because I think if it's done well, and the notes all complement one another, I think will be great. Anything that is too animalic, and when I say animalic, like with Triple X, it was more of a musk, right? But when it smells like cow shit, yeah. When it smells like a barnyard blast, and listen, I'm in the Midwest, so I smell cow shit all the time. And after you work on a farm, after a while you don't smell it anymore. But if you don't work on a farm,
you
smell like cow shit.
So maybe you're not going out and buying all the zoologist fragrances then.
I like challenging fragrances to smell for like art. I would never put them on my body. I love zoologist. I think it's a lot of fun. I also love imaginary authors. I think
Yeah,
that's a lot of fun.
yeah, yeah,
But like the cobra and the canary, I love. But
yeah,
nobody would want to smell that.
yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy as hell.
Yeah, like T-Rex, I understand the art of it, but it's like I don't want to smell like a forest fire. I don't know, you know.
Uh, Gucci Guilty Absolute, was it? Joe Anthony sent me a bottle. It literally smells like a burning campfire. And I'm a big outdoorsman. So to me, that's something I wear indoors when I'm
Yeah.
not camping. I would never wear it out and
Yeah.
piss people off. When I go out, I want people to say, "Oh, you smell good," not, you know, why do you smell like burnt rubber and ass? You know what I mean? Like it's just not, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I like challenging scents to be like, wow, that's pretty, like, that's a lot going on. But I would never put it on my body and say, hey, Scott, let's go out and have a couple of drinks and smell up the place. You know, what a prick. That's, that's,
That sounds like a challenge.
yeah, absolutely.
So, what's your favorite scent or you thing you like to smell like out in the world, such as like, you know, some people like fresh cut grass or they like the smell of fuel or after it rains. Do you have a favorite scent like that?
I do love the smell of gasoline because my dad was a mechanic, and I would always go in the garage, and it was, I just loved, even when he wasn't in there, it still smelled. It had this aroma. It's very nostalgic.
Yeah.
I love that. I like the musky smell of books, like old books.
Oh,
You know
cool.
what I
Okay.
mean? I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
that smell. Um, what else do I like? Peculiar smells. I'm trying to think.
I like it when you get close to the beach. You know, you got the windows down. You kind of,
Breeze. Yeah, I like that smell too.
yeah, yeah.
I like that smell too. I like the smell after it rains.
I do too.
That's a great smell.
Yep.
And then I like how my wife smells when she comes out of the shower.
I'm waiting for the dirty comments.
You know, I'm walking the line here, Scott. Not nice over here. You gotta let me spread. I'm a peacock. I gotta spread my wings. Yeah, I'm keeping it PG-13. You
Tell me
know,
your real favorite smell and the after party.
you know what we're talking about. Come on. Oh, Big Rips BFL.
All right. So favorite niche house, if you had to pick one, I'm putting a gun to your head. These are the hard hitting questions that America wants to know.
I know. I know.
Shocking truth.
First of all, let me say one thing. I'm a designer guy.
Okay.
I am a huge designer guy. Niche. What?
If I were to answer for you, I would say Zaharoff.
If I say that, I need my deposit to go through.
Chill,
You
chill.
understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
If I say that, I'm gonna lose money. Um, yeah, you support your friends, don't you?
hmm
You support your friends.
But you made one hell of a fragrance over there.
How could I not have? You know, I think George and I understand each other.
He
If I
loves
say, I want to say Zaharoff, but everyone's gonna roll their eyes and say, "Of course he says Zaharoff." So I'm trying to think if I don't say Zaharoff,
Can I say it? It's my favorite.
listen, chill a second. Um, one of the best
Oh my goodness.
scents of all time. One of the most beautiful bottles I own in my collection.
Yeah.
Scott, I have maybe 500 bottles of cologne.
Oof.
People have no idea. And I could count on one hand, no, two hands, over the last X amount of years, how many were sent to me for free. So when I talk about things, unless a friend sent it to me, I've bought all of my fragrances since I was a kid.
That's that integrity you were talking about.
You know, and there's so much that goes into that, right? I know that's such a big, people get so triggered about all that stuff. I just don't see why people care so much. And I think that goes back to what we were saying earlier. I could really care less what these individuals are doing, Scott.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, let them just a lot of passion.
You'd be surprised how many people do actually care, though.
You think they're just upset? Is it integrity, or do you think that they're just, if they were to be offered a bottle,
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
some of these bottles these companies send, they're very expensive.
Yeah.
It's very expensive, and they can't afford it. And you're
Yeah.
gonna say no, thank you.
I mean, really, at the end of the day, they're not expensive, but they are expensive, if you know what I mean.
Correct.
Big
Correct.
ones are like $5, but
Correct. Correct. I'll never forget when Jeremy said his bottles costed $5 and he was charging like 400. What a flex!
yeah. I've had a couple people say kind of in that range, so the markup is drastic. But so is everything. Shoes, they make those things in sweatshops and sell them for $300.
Right. Right. Yeah. I buy these Adidas tracksuits, and like you can't buy a tracksuit under $200.
Mhm.
So
Okay, so you were almost gonna say, well,
that's niche. Yeah, I know. It's like
what's your favorite designer then? That might be
I
easier.
like that better. The reason I can, yeah, favorite designer.
Not fragrance, but house. You don't have to say one particular, or if you just want to say the
Yeah,
particular fragrance, you can do that.
it's so hard. These are such hard questions.
The hard hitting questions,
They
man.
are hard hitting because, like, when you think of like 10 or like say a top five, how do I really break it down? How about we start? I'm gonna unravel. So, my favorite fragrance of all time. You ready for this? It
Yeah.
is Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce.
Oh wow, okay. That
Okay,
reminds me of
changed my life.
college years. Yeah,
Changed my life. That and Aqua di Gio, the original Aqua di
yeah,
Gio.
yeah.
Before Sauvage, it was Aqua di Gio.
I
Changed
remember the
my
time
life.
someone sprayed that in front of me. I didn't know anything like that existed.
It was life changing.
I was just in the polo world. Everything was polo blue, polo
I
green,
love
polo
Polo.
sport, safari, and then someone sprayed that, and I was like, they make something else. There's like something different than polo.
Sure.
Yeah.
And to this day, it's still one of the best men's fragrances of all time, best selling men's fragrances, and we're in that blue era, you know.
Alberto.
Yeah, shout out to Alberto, of course, Aqua di Gio, Jeremy Fragrance, Office for Men. That's crazy. That's crazy that he had Alberto do that.
Hmm. That's
Um,
the big time.
but best designer fragrance.
You're not gonna like the next question.
Go ahead.
All right, man. The house is burning down. You got the wife in one arm, the two cats, and you're just grabbing one fragrance, like just the one. It's burning down, and you got to grab the one. That's all you can. That's all you got room for. Which one is it?
Triple X. Because no one's gonna believe it's mine otherwise.
Yeah, you need, you need to have evidence.
They're all sold out. They cease to exist, Scott. That's it. Alberto's gorillas out of respect. Yeah, something that has meaning. You know, all of these things are replaceable, right? Like
Yeah,
I can just.
yeah,
But
that's
aside from Triple X, it would
that's
be
a
my.
pretty big deal. But no matter what anyone says, man, I think that's really cool. It's a pretty big deal, boss. That's awesome.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, shout out to you for that.
Thank you so much. But I'll tell you what. Aside from that, probably my 2005 vintage Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce.
Oh, you've got you.
It's not spoiled. The top notes still shine. It smells. When I smell it, I'm 14 again.
Yeah, yeah. It's
I'm
very
doing ungodly things.
even if you're one of those people who are like, I don't shop there, I'm not going in there. You couldn't walk by that store without
Without
smelling.
smelling it.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a phenomenon, man. Especially growing up in the 2000s. It was a really big deal for me. That was my wingman, Scott.
Yeah.
If you would have came to my room when we were in Chicago, it smelled like an Abercrombie and Fitch store.
Oh, okay.
So I know Yara's in the chat.
Yeah.
Yara, and Hillary came,
So
and I was
came over. I appreciate it. It means the world.
of course, man. I was on another planet when they showed up. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And all of a sudden, I got a knock on the door, and it's Yara and Hills, and they come in. And it's like, whoa, it's really strong in here because I spray it in the room as well as on my body. Like if my room doesn't smell like an Abercrombie and Fitch in 2005, I'm doing something wrong.
So I drove like a dumbass. I drove from South Carolina to Chicago on Friday and drove back Sunday. And
That's
the
dedication.
reason I didn't get involved in the gummy bears.
Yeah.
Because I knew I had to.
Listen, you made a wise choice.
Yes.
You made a wise choice. Yeah, they were strong.
But everybody they were vibing, and I was there for it. So
It was a great time. But Yara came to my room and it reeked like Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce. So
so what's that one? What's one thing or a couple things that people would be surprised to learn about you? Maybe they've got you wrong, and they'd be surprised to know this about you.
great question. I like to ask people this question. Well, it's funny. So first of all, we all have different sides. We only see what these people choose to show us in whatever projection, right? They portray themselves how they want their followers to see them as. But there's so much more to us than that, right?
Hmm.
So I think people see me, they hear the way I talk, or the way maybe the conversations that I have, the guests that I have on, and right there they think they have you figured out.
You got you pegged.
They got you pegged, no pun intended.
Hmm.
And I think it's funny because in my this is a big comment. This is going to be a hot take. It's pretty rare in my personal life for people not to like hit it off and like get along with. Most people I know, we get along like just I'm very outgoing. I'm very welcoming.
I attest to that. I
And
didn't know you that well when I went to Chicago.
no, and it was I had for the short time we spent together. It felt natural. It wasn't awkward. It wasn't weird. You know what I mean? None of it.
That's you because I am weird and awkward. So
Yeah, man. Shout outs to foot fetishes. Yeah, but I think people you need to give people a chance. Get to know them on a personal level. So like, what do people be surprised to know about me? Not everything is the way it seems.
yeah, that's true.
People think they know personas on the internet, but that's exactly what it is. It's a persona. But anyone that's met me is gonna say what you see is what you get. But you only see what I show you when I hit the live button.
Yeah, yeah.
When I'm entertaining as a host, there's many more sides to me.
Yeah.
With the guy, and that's it, man.
Yeah,
They'd be surprised to learn there's more than meets the eye.
that's right. So we've touched on this a little bit, about content creators, people from the past that you enjoyed watching. Is there anybody now that you like that's doing it right that, maybe isn't exactly your friend, but that you like? Or do you only just watch Friends?
Like I said, for the most part, when it's people I know and I'm invested in that, maybe like let's say we're not friends, right? Maybe we have similar taste. I'm trying to think who's like fresh, and this is where I feel like an old man. I don't know any of the new guys.
Okay. Okay.
You know,
That's fair.
like
Fair.
in the community is so big now.
Yeah.
I don't think I think there's a lot of people that none of us are even aware of.
Yeah, you're probably right.
You know what I mean? But like, who's someone relatively new?
Yeah.
I feel like everyone in my circle. I mean, I even know you. I know like you started.
3 years.
Yeah. How many?
3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
In Fraycom years, that's like 9. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm ancient. I'm ancient now. So like, who's new to the game? I have no idea, Scott.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I have to be honest. I don't know.
That's all right. My next question, you've answered it kind of a couple times, but I'm gonna try to pin you down. How big is your collection?
In the last 3 years, I lost count. And
Is it at that mark, or do you think it's over that? I think because you mentioned 500 once.
it may be over 500.
Nice.
I was doing a stream and my wife came in and started like harping about my cologne, and then started showing it. She like joined, like you know what I mean. She joined. She clicked my link and I added her, and people were like, "What the hell?" they I a lot. I don't think people realize how much cologne I actually own. It's one of my favorite things in the world.
Yeah.
It's a passion of mine.
All right. We're getting down to the last couple questions. They're going to be just some fun questions, and then you can take your gang, your motley crew.
I love calling them a motley crew. Yeah.
All right. What's your top three favorite movies? I have it as one, but I won't do that to you.
I like that. I appreciate that. Stand By Me.
Yeah.
Stephen King novella. Rob Reiner. Stand By Me. One of my favorite movies of all time. Um. mm, I like the Titanic. James Horner Titanic. Yeah.
Never let go, Jack.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's some of the greatest like music. The music. Some of my like the greatest score of all time. It's up there. I'm trying to think. That's even three is like impossible to answer. I'm gonna settle and just say "Stand by Me."
Okay, I like it. So obviously you do the karaoke, which again, anybody who hasn't seen that yet, you gotta watch that. It's so fun. What is some of your favorite music or groups or musicians? What do you like?
You want to full screen me quick?
Full screen yet?
Yeah, you can click the you can highlight me.
Let's see. I don't know how to do that.
That's okay. So you see how I'm down below, like down below.
Let's see.
You should. It's okay if you can't. I can do it. Hey, look at you.
Figuring it out on the fly. Blink. I see Blink.
Favorite band of all time. Blink-182.
Love the new joint that's out right now.
One More Time.
Yeah, I love that.
Absolutely amazing.
I just played it for my wife last night.
I'm
so glad they got back together.
Me too. I seen them last May. Or no, not yeah, this past May, and I'm gonna be seeing them next August. So a lot of people don't know, but that is the look at my arm, hairy arm. That is the Tom DeLonge Fender Stratocaster from Blink-182.
Nice.
That's the one he played in like All the Small Things, What's My Age Again,
Yeah.
like Enema of State.
Mm-hmm.
I have a as you can see, music is a very, very important thing to me.
Yeah.
You know, little Boys to Men.
I love music.
I have a Young Britney.
Yeah. Oops, I did it again. Yeah.
Oops, I did it again. Yeah, hit me back one more time. You know, some Nirvana, Nevermind, Green Day. I'm trying to see what else I have all in here. Some 41, but favorite band of all time, Blink-182. Yeah.
Yeah. Getting ready for the Creed reunion.
Yo, listen, I like Creed. People talk shit.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Creed album up there, past the Foo Fighters. I like Creed.
Foo.
I love Nickelback. I love Foo Fighters. I don't know.
Look at this.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Okay. Sweet. What about your favorite food to eat? Do you have one particular favorite go-to?
Pizza. Yeah.
Ah.
You put anything on it. Anything. Chicken bacon ranch.
Does people belong on a pizza?
Anything belongs on a pizza. It's just bread. It's just dough. It's dough. I know we like to joke around and say pineapple doesn't go on pizza. Yeah, but the sweet and salty contrast is why people like it.
Yeah.
It's a good balance, but it's just bread and sauce. Put anything on there. I love old pizza. I love a good Supreme. Put a bunch of shit on there. I love like a meat lovers.
Are you a chain guy or do you like pop?
Oh, I like mom and pop pizza place. Yeah. New York pizza all day.
Yeah.
I like Detroit style.
Oh, dude,
I like deep dish.
That pizza George treated us to was pretty
fantastic.
It was pretty amazing. All right, since we're talking about food and it is Thanksgiving, turkey or ham, or both?
If I had to pick, I would say ham, but I love stuffing a turkey.
These are the hard-hitting questions, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, these are hard-hitting questions. I would probably take an Easter ham over a Thanksgiving turkey, but I tell you, they ain't nothing better, Scott, than stuffing a turkey. You know what I mean? And you know what? I'm a big stuffing fan, so that's the one thing is eating the stuffing that you shoved in the orifice of the turkey. It's just beautiful.
Like a good orifice.
Like there's nothing better than filling a hole with something you're gonna eat later.
That's right.
Know?
Absolutely. Yeah. That might be one of our favorite scents. So pecan pie or pumpkin?
Ooh, dang! You got to stop with these questions, Scott. I can't. I hate not answering people's questions. I hate not answering people's questions.
I came up with two.
I'm gonna say, oh my god, I love them both. I'm gonna go with pumpkin.
Okay.
Just because I like the cool, like putting Cool Whip on pumpkin. Hi.
What's the top 3 killer sides tomorrow?
Oh man, dressing, yeah, little stuff in action, macaroni and cheese, homemade.
I like the green bean casserole.
Mama Cannoli's making green bean casserole.
Shout out to Mama Cannoli.
Shout outs, and then like yams with some like some mini marshmallows on there, little sweet potato action. What is it, honey? With the canned yams with the.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Oh my god!
Also, cheesy potatoes.
The wife's here. Say hi.
Hi.
Julie says regards.
I know you.
You do know Scott, yeah? You met Scott.
Yeah, we talked to her a few times.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, she was rocking it.
She was having a great time. She was definitely ripping it on the dance floor.
I was drunk every night.
Yeah, it was a fun time by all. Do you read it all, Joe?
I'm a huge reader.
What book are you rocking?
At the moment, I'm starting the Britney Spears, her book that just came out. As you can see, I'm a big Britney fan.
That's awesome.
I have Stephen King's entire catalog.
Okay.
I'm a diehard Stephen King fan. I love all things horror. It is my favorite book of all time. Stephen King's It. It's a pretty intense book, but it's very beautiful, and there's so much truth to it about like just losing that childhood innocence and growing up and forgetting. It's a lot of beautiful analogies.
I wonder what happened to that man when he was growing up.
You listen, I don't know. He had his demons, yeah.
Okay, and then what's another hobby you enjoy besides Fraiche or collecting fragrances?
Music,
yeah.
Music is life. Music is number one over everything.
I love the karaoke, man. So good.
Yeah, I love to sing. I love to play different instruments. Yeah, I would say music is number one.
You got anything out there like on Spotify or anything like that? No,
nope. Just my wife and I. Julissa sings as well.
Okay.
You know, we love performing. We love singing. We've been like the house band before at bars and places, and we've done gigs, and it's a lot of fun, and it's nice to get paid. It's nice to get paid to sing, man. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome, man.
So. Yeah, I love music.
Anything coming down the pike that you want to promote or you got going on or that you can mention right now? Or
oh, man. Well, I know as far as the live streams go, the Cannoli Mafia Awards are coming up in December.
Oh.
And those have nothing to do with Fraiche.
Can't wait to see that.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I have some things in the works that I can't share as of yet.
Okay.
Good things, great things.
Like to hear that.
And after being demonetized for like the bulk of my entire YouTube career, if that's what you would call it, I am finally monetized.
No.
On my I made another channel.
Okay.
And the goal this coming year is to grow that channel because I've never been able to grow. You ask about my subscriber count. Classic story. I've been blacklisted since YouTube was able to monetize. I'm not politically correct, not advertiser friendly. I could do like an Adam and Eve. I don't know if you're familiar with the website Adam and Eve.
Yeah, I am familiar. I mean, I've heard about it.
I could do right. I could do a sponsorship from them, maybe some but stuff like that. Some VPN action. Anyways, yeah, man. So there's
things in the works.
There's things in the works,
Definitely.
and I can almost promise you, next year we're going to be having another get together. So
I'm in.
Be ready.
Let's do it.
Be ready.
And thank you so much for doing this. It was pretty simple, pain-free.
Yeah.
I've been to do this with you for a while. Ever since I got to know you, I'm like, man, this guy is, more people need to know about him. Not that my little channel is going to do that, but I wanted to get the word out there the best I can.
Yeah, man. It's an absolute pleasure. And you know what? I like doing stuff like this.
Yeah,
and
it was fun.
We are able to build a relationship online together. You know what I mean?
In honor of you.
There it is. There you go. There you go. Listen, and I took off my glasses out of respect, so.
This is in honor of you.
Yeah. Shout outs to the Pit Vipers.
And then right now, after this, you're going right back over to your channel, right, for the after party.
We're gonna have an after party for a little bit. We're gonna do a little karaoke Thanksgiving after party. I think it's gonna be a variety of chaos.
Well, it's going to be fun. I'm going to head on over there too and hang out with y'all. And I hope you and your family have an amazing Thanksgiving. And for everybody that came along, thank you for being here. I don't take it lightly. It was so much fun. Thank you.
It was a pleasure. Thank you for having me on here, and great questions. And I have to say, I'm a complicated individual. It's hard for me to pick one thing. I got a lot of love. A lot of these things I love, and it's so hard to be like, you only get one. I'm a glutton, Scott. I'm a glutton. What can I say?
Yeah.
You did a great job, man. Thank you for having me.
Man. Nothing but love for you, and look forward to getting to know you throughout the years even more. So.
Absolutely, Scott. Thank you, man.
We'll see you on the other side.
We'll see you on the flip side. Much love, guys. See ya.
All right, everybody, that's it. We'll see you guys over at Joey's channel. Have a good night. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Make sure I get some of these.
Little action. Great stream, Scott and Joey. Thank you, Taffy.